Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you the essential steps that you need to take in order to build a solid foundation to begin building your real estate business as a new real estate agent. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get into the content. Okay, so we are talking about today, the main topic, the main title of this whole video is how to succeed as a new real estate agent, okay? So if you're just getting started, we all know that it can be extremely helpful to have a plan of action to kind of help you get into the industry and get everything started and build a solid foundation. So that's why I'm making this particular video. It's for the new real estate agent that is looking to build their business and to add a strong foundation. Now, that does not negate any agent that's been in this industry for any length of time, because we all know that we kind of lose track of some of the basics and some of the essential things that we need to be focusing on. We kind of get relaxed and a little too comfortable in our jobs that certain things kind of begin to fall through the cracks. So today we're going to be talking about this. Even though it's aimed at a new agent perspective, I hope you as experienced agents that are watching this can get something of value as well. So as always, be sure to bring in some comments, engage with us in this. Even if you're watching this on the replay, go into the comments and make suggestions and comments. We'll go back and we will answer those. So today though, we are really honing in, and I want to kind of get into six tips and six things that I kind of want to put into your mind about you kind of need to begin to develop and get into place before you kind of start getting everything else going. There's certain things in real estate. There's a lot of little pieces that kind of got to come together to make the whole machine kind of work. And so today we're going to be talking about six of those things that if you can add these to your business and get a really good understanding about how they operate, you're going to have a great launching pad to kind of grow your business from. Now, there's other videos on our channel that talk about things and going a little bit deeper about some of these categories, and more will be coming about that. So if you're interested in what we're having what we're talking about on this channel, consider subscribing, ringing that bell if you're getting something of value and sharing these videos. But we're kind of honing in a little bit today. So these are going to be six things that I'm going to be talking about to help you, the new agent, and even the experienced agent, to get refocused. All right. So the number one thing I want to talk about, and it shouldn't come as a big surprise, but it's this: get organized. Get organized. All right. One of the most important things you can do as a new real estate agent is to get organized at the very, very beginning. Set up a system for keeping track of your leads, your clients, and properties. This will save you time and energy all the way down the road. So there's many things that you need to get organized inside of your business, right? We're talking about many different aspects. We got paperwork and appointments and contacts. So let's talk about some of these main points. Like when I say get organized, that's a broad topic, right? What do you mean? What all do I need to get organized? Well, let's hone in a little bit better on this, okay? So the first thing that I would say is appointments, okay? Because you're going to be going on a lot of different appointments. You're going to be talking about a lot of different things and setting up a lot of different meetings and calendars and these type of things, okay? So it is important for real estate agents to keep track of their appointments in order to ensure that they are meeting with potential clients at the most convenient times that fit their schedule. There are a variety of ways to do this, such as using a physical calendar or an online scheduling system and so forth, right? There's many ways that we can kind of work through setting appointments. There's also a lot of technology that comes alongside and helps us to do this as well. One being the simple way is like Google Calendar, right? Getting in there and setting up a system when you want to meet with when clients, like let's say you're working with a buyer or a seller, is there certain times of day that you want to go show properties and go on listing appointments? Start thinking through all of the actions and all the things that you do as a realtor in regards to going on appointments, and begin to develop a system around that to say, this is when I want to do this is when I want to do this activity, and then time block those activities. And then you know when and how to set those appointments. So understanding and kind of getting all that kind of stuff together and being able to understand the way appointments work and not give away your time freely to everything, so you lose track of all these other things we're going to be talking about, right? So yes, Emily says, yeah, oh my, organization is so important. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. If you don't have all these little things kind of organized in your business, then it's very easy to kind of get derailed and then not stay on point and doing the things that actually are growing your business. So think through kind of all those little things that it requires to keep that business organized. Now, there's a lot of videos out there. You can simply type in Google search and say, hey, best way to organize a real estate agent's business, right? You're going to come across thousands of articles that talk about just different things. There's also a really handy little thing that's circulated around the industry for many years. It's the 188 tasks a realtor performs. If you type that in a search bar, you're going to find all kinds of those. I can probably put in the link in the description for you guys to kind of go straight to something. I'll do that. But that's a good way to kind of see like all the different things that agents do. And if you can figure out ways to organize each one of those, you're going to be doing pretty well. So the other thing I would say to organize is your contacts. You're going to be coming across a lot of different people. So real estate agents must also keep track of everybody that they meet, which includes both clients and other professionals in the industry, family, friends, all the above, right? You got to figure out a way to kind of capture these contacts. This can be done using a contact management system like a CRM, which allows agents to store information such as phone numbers, email addresses, social media accounts of those people, notes. When you engage with those type of people, you can kind of use it as a central focus. You can also use, like a paper version of that, right? Like you can use something like a planner or notes or, whatever it is. Develop a system to track those contacts, like some way to actually capture those contacts. Emily Hacker, I love it. Emily, you're engaged. I love it. Yeah, keep bringing stuff. I ordered 3 calendars yesterday, so hopefully I'll love one of them. Good. Testing out many different things. That's good. Yep. Sometimes you got to shop around a little bit to find what works for your business. That's good. I love it. The other category I would say you need to get organized is documents. All right. Now, most agencies and most brokerages will have a paperless system like .loop, and that holds all of your documents digitally. But you're going to be handling a lot of different things, from marketing pieces to actual listing paperwork and buyer paperwork. And these systems, these digital systems, these paperless systems have all kinds of ways of organizing your files in folders and your templates that you can use and pull up and quickly get in there and start working. What I would say is get with a mentor or your broker or manager and have them walk you through some of the common forms that you need to be using. Go in there, and if you're an experienced agent as well, go into your .loop account or your paperless transaction software and begin to organize it a little bit, because it's going to help you to operate a little bit more efficiently, and it's going to help you just kind of stay on point and know exactly what you need to be doing when, those type of things. But you do need to figure out a way to work with your documents, right? So and like I said, most brokerages will have that. Maybe it's a paper type setup still. I think we're seeing less and less of that, to be honest. But if it is, develop a filing system either at your home office or your actual office where you can keep track of your leads and prospects and closings and past clients, all those type of things. And maybe it's that way, but develop some kind of filing system that you can use on a regular basis that is simple and it makes sense for you to use. So these are definitely some things you guys got to get in place to actually kind of grow your business. Emily, yes, I would do that. I would appreciate a link to any calendar you might suggest. I still like paper. Yes, I will touch on that too, Emily. I'm right there with you. So I'm kind of a hybrid person when it comes to planners and this kind of stuff. And just kind of a plug for Lockbee. I'll just put this out there. I'm not an affiliate of them at all. I just love their product extremely well. But that's the name of it, right? If I can get it to focus. Maybe not. It's Lockbee. Oh, there it goes. Lochby. It's really cool. They have the ability to add a bunch of little like inserts. You can see the dividers there. I use it pretty much exclusively for all of my planner needs. There's your calendar, if it'll focus, right? It's got that in there. It's got individual days. I use it for my journaling there. Then you've got a way to keep, that dot grid. You can have that in there. And then you have just a general note area, blank pages. So it has a way to kind of organize everything. But I'm a paper person too. I love Lockbee. They're a pretty cool, company that allows you to kind of have all kinds of cool ways to organize notebooks and stuff like that. So I use them a lot. So I would recommend them. It does require a little bit more setup though. It's not like you're just buying a product and it's ready to go. You've got to kind of set it up to kind of work within your industry, which I'll probably do a video on that, on some tips that I found to work really good for you guys. So I'll probably do something like that. All right, moving on. So finances is another thing you've got to get organized. There are a lot of templates out there that talk about how to kind of budget and set up expenses, income, outgo. There's also a lot of software out there. Look into using something like QuickBooks or Mint, but there's also a real estate specific one. It's called Hurdler. I actually interviewed the CEO of that company a few months back. I'll put a link up here for you guys to kind of click on. You guys can check out that video, but that's more specific for real estate agents. But figure out a way to manage your finances, your mileage, your income, your expenses, your budget, all those type of things. Get those finances in order, because there's a lot of expenses that we incur as real estate agents that come once a year that we need to be budgeting for. And there's these big checks that we're getting. And if we don't allocate that money correctly, we can go from those highs and lows, rich and broke, so getting those finances in order is absolutely key to any business, to be honest, but especially with real estate agents, and just the way our industry works is very cynical, so anyway, kind of get in there and work on your finances. The other one, and this goes back to kind of the first tip I gave about getting organized, is contacts, but it's leads. It's leads. Again, real estate agents need to keep track of their leads. They need to know when to follow up with these clients. They need to have a system where they consistently follow up with these people so they don't lose them and go somewhere else. So, because we're constantly getting leads, either face-to-face or internet or social media, whatever the case may be. There's all these things coming at us, and we've got to develop a system that's going to be put in place so that when those leads come in, you have an actionable list of items that you do on a regular basis to stay on point. Because these people are going around to all these different places. So they're going all around. So you got to pull them in and hold on to them. And the way you do that is consistently reaching out to them. So a good way and a good follow-up with leads is going to keep that from happening for you losing those clients. So keep that in mind. Those are the things that I would say to getting organized. If you're a new agent, and even if you're an experienced agent, get on these and figure out your systems, and then just get really, really good at doing it. So we got contacts, documents, finances, and leads, right? Okay. Number 2 tip I would say is develop a marketing plan. Develop a marketing plan. Okay, so now that you're organized, you kind of got all those little pieces together, it's time to start marketing yourself and your business. So identify kind of a target market. What is your target market? What do you naturally find that you are comfortable with engaging with? First-time home buyers? Where's your limit of experience, right? We call it the law of the lid. I can only lead as high as the lid on the cup that is full, right? So what I need to do is I need to figure out where my zone is and lead this cup of water, and then gradually raise my lid and get a bigger cup so I can handle more and more business and different niche markets, those type of things, right? So what is it that you kind of naturally gravitate towards? Maybe you're too new to even know what that is. Well, that's fine. Go online and do a Google search, like always, and just say, hey, what are some common niches in real estate that agents work with? And just kind of begin to research it a little bit, explore it a little bit. What kind of niche excites you? What says, wow, I would like to maybe learn more about this? Is it a first-time home buyer? Is it investors? Is it for sale by owners, expireds? What is it? Find that niche and begin to kind of hone in on that. And then once you kind of do that, then you kind of begin to understand what kind of marketing you need to do. And then you can begin to figure out a way to actually reach those people. Okay, and there's, again, a lot of videos. We have some on our channel about how to get certain, sphere of influence and certain people to engage with you. But this could include things like creating a website, a blog, postcards, newsletters, or local events, networking groups. And that's going to be my next topic here, is kind of talking about some ways that I can encourage you to kind of add a foundation for you to build a marketing plan from. Okay, so what is a marketing plan? Well, a marketing plan is saying, if I procure this client, buyer, seller, whatever it is, I have a plan that's going to take this lead or whatever from here, from point A to point B, which is a sale. And you might not, as a new agent, have all the little things figured out, but you can begin to kind of put some things in place to kind of help you lead that way, and journal everything you do so you can see what works and what doesn't work, and then begin to develop the plan. But there's a few things that you've kind of got in place. You've got to get into place before you actually get the plan all put together. But let's go here real quick. I want to stop and bring Emily Hacker back up. She was talking about the back at the when we were talking about finances and getting organized. This book, I would absolutely agree with her, is a great book. It's called Profit First. I think it's Milkowitz. I don't know. I'm probably butchering that name, and I apologize, but it's something like that. And but I would absolutely agree with Emily. That is a great book to get. And then Jim, hey, Jim, there we go. Jim Misner, hard money, private lender. That's awesome. Hey, there's a good plug right there. Jim, I'd like to reach out to you at some time, man. Thank you for being here and watching the show. Terry, in regards to niche markets, she says lake properties and seniors for us. There you go. Terry understands where she's at. She understands her lane. She understands what she's good at, and she's honing in on that. And then she's going to develop a marketing plan that's going to help those people get from point A to point B. That's good, Terry. Thank you for sharing that. There we go. Yes, thank you, Emily. Michael Wicks. Michael Wicks. All right, that's good. Thank you, Emily. There's the name. The name of the book was Profit First. And again, just Jim Misner, Hard Money, Private Lender. I never read that book, but man, I'll be checking it out. Thank you. All right, so here's some tips on the foundation of building that marketing plan, the things you've got to have in place to kind of work from as your anchor point, right? So this one should not come as a surprise. Get a website. I mean, that's a central hub for everything we do. For marketing, we got to send people back to our website. So that's a good anchoring point. I mean, this is your home base, right? It's your home base for where potential clients can just learn more about you and your business and your listings and how you operate, your value proposition. All of those things are going to be on your website. So it needs to be professional looking, easy to navigate, all those type of things, include information about your experience, services, your contact information, obviously, all those type of things need to be on there. So you do need to develop a good website. If you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of them out there, right? Plenty of them out there. The other one is get really good. And this is love or hate it, guys. And you guys probably already know what I'm going to say is use social media. All right. You can hate it all day long, but it's here to stay, guys. We're not getting rid of it. And we're in the social industry. We're in a social relational industry. Like these are things we've got to do. We've got to get good at social media. But now here's what I'm not an advocate of. I'm not an advocate of being good at all these different social media platforms. Matter of fact, I think if you get on too many, you actually lose focus. You're not good at any. So what I would say is get really, really good, especially as a new agent, get really, really good at a particular social media account or a social media platform. And learn everything you can about it and how to utilize that and navigate that, right? Some that I would probably recommend for most agents, I'm a big fan of Instagram. I think Instagram is a good visual, engaging type platform. It's just an easier way to kind of get in there and see what's going on. You can share stories, those type of things. Facebook is obviously very, very common. Love, hate that. It's good and it's bad. The good is it does have a lot of features built in, and you can just do a lot of help there. You can create groups and blog and videos and all this kind of stuff. But it can be kind of confusing, a little bit overwhelming, and you can get kind of lost in all of that. Twitter's a good one. Twitter's kind of going through a bunch of readjusting right now as far as what they're really about. But it is a good way to kind of quickly just get in there and engage with people. But don't forget though, and this is one that I just highly recommend you guys try to explore this a little bit. YouTube. Explore YouTube, because YouTube gives you a platform to be able to share your advice and your knowledge to your clients, and people are on it. There's tons and tons of people on it. So explore YouTube. All right. The other one that I would do, and this goes towards actually being a person of influence, but also providing value back. It's developing a blog, building a blog out. It's a great way for you to showcase your knowledge and your potential to clients that you are an expert in your field, right? It's write informative articles that provide value to your readers, things that you can share on your social media that is now anchored onto your website. And you can see how the website's kind of just that anchor. Everything you do needs to go back to that. So develop some kind of blog. Send out e-newsletters. Now, if you have a CRM, typically most CRMs will have a built-in newsletter for you. You can customize it, and sometimes they have pre-made templates and they populate it for you. There's just different ways that they do that. But most CRMs will have something like that. So again, it's kind of a good thing to kind of get involved in. If you already have a CRM, get in there, start messing around with it. If it doesn't have a feature for newsletters, maybe shop around for a new one. Because that's a feature that, to me, it's providing value back, and you can add people to this newsletter. And then on your website, you can have subscribe to my newsletter here, and they enter in their email address, and then it syncs it with your newsletter that automatically sends that out. These are things that everybody's kind of doing, but it gives you that foundation to kind of build your marketing plan from. All right. Now, the last tip I'll give you for as far as like developing a marketing plan is simply just kind of attend local events. And I know that doesn't sound like a marketing plan, but it does kind of give you some direction. So attending local events is a great way to meet potential clients face to face that then allows you to build a relationship with them where you can then market to them about maybe something else is going on. So let's say you're talking to somebody at a local event and they say, yeah, I've been looking for a house. You can then say, oh, well, I list homes. Here's what I've got. Here's my website, whatever the case may be. So keep that in mind. Attending local events to market yourself in could be part of your marketing plan. Okay, the third tip that I'll give you guys as new agents is stay in touch with your sphere of influence. Okay, we're talking about sphere of influence. Wow, what a trendy little topic, right? SOI. You guys if you do a Google search right now or YouTube search or anything on sphere of influence, you are going to get millions of videos of just different ways to kind of go through your sphere of influence. And they're all great, right? It's all right advice. We've got to stay in front of our sphere of influence. So it seems like yep, that's what we should do. But let's define that really, really quick. Sphere of influence. These are people that you yourself have influence over. Okay? A lot of people get this confused. They say my contacts that I have in my CRM, all of them are considered my sphere of influence. Well, if you've been in this industry long enough, you know that is absolutely not true. Because if we go back to all the organization of leads and those type of things, the leads we get from internet and phone calls and all this kind of stuff, do you actually have influence over them at all? Do they know you from Adam? So that's the thing though. They're not sphere of influences. You don't have influence over those people. Who do you have influence over? In your CRM and your contact management, you need to be thinking about people that, hey, first, they're going to buy from you no matter what. These people, when they go to buy or sell a home, they're going to call you. Think through those people. Who are they? Develop a pool. Put those people in a specific category inside of your CRM. Okay? So, I mean, those sphere of influence are those people, family, friends, people that's going to buy houses from you no matter what. And you're going to treat them a little bit differently than you do your actual leads. Okay? They're a little bit a step above, right? These are the people that refer more business to you from. These are the ones that reach back out to you and send people business to you, and then you send business to them that you meet on a regular basis, right? That's your sphere of influence. Those people are treated very differently. Very, very differently. So develop systems that help you to stay in front of your sphere of influence. So here are some ideas to help you stay in touch with your sphere of influence. Simple one is this: make personal phone calls. Okay, this is just a simple way to get in contact with to reach out and check in with your contacts and see how they are doing. It doesn't always have to be a sales call. It can simply be a human-to-human call, you just asking how they are. And you need to figure out, going back to organizing appointments and our time, you need to go to your calendar and say, look, this week, I'm going to reach out to 10 of my sphere of influence people, and I'm going to call them and just ask them how they're doing. Just going to simply ask, hey, how's Joe doing, your son, and how's the little dog doing? Whatever the case may be, you're building that relationship with them. Figure out a time block and reach out to those people and just make that personal phone call and that personal touch. And you could always try to figure out a way to kind of get back to business, because I mean, we're in that we don't want to miss an opportunity. And you've heard this many times, but maybe as a new agent you haven't. The typical question you would want to ask at the end of that conversation would be, hey, who do you know that might be wanting to buy or sell home in the next 3-4 months? Do you know anybody that would be interested in doing that? It's a very open-ended question because it gets them thinking. So it's a good way to kind of end the conversation. So you could always say like, yeah, hey, just before we go, I'm in real estate and it's a sales industry and I value your relationship and I would be more than happy to send more business your way as well if there's something I can help you with. But just keep in mind, if there's anybody that you might know that might be buying or selling homes in the next few months, if you could recommend me to them, that would be awesome. Like just a simple ask. That's not invasive. That doesn't negate the entire personal call that you just made. It's being human. It's being transparent too. They understand you're in the sales industry. Reach out to them and ask that stuff. All right, this is a lost opportunity in a lot of ways, but it's sending personalized cards. Sending personalized cards. You can use this opportunity to thank them for their referrals, wishing them a happy birthday, the anniversaries of their actual wedding anniversary, or their buying of a home anniversary. And it's simply just letting them know that you are thinking of them. It is such a great personal touch, right? I mean, you guys know the feeling. You go to your mailbox, you get junk 99% of the, or probably about 60% of the time. And then 49% of the time you get bills. And then the other 1%, you might get a personal letter every once in a while, right? That's kind of the letter. Well, that's kind of the rule in a way. Well, isn't it nice when you get that 1%? It's like, that felt good. I liked that. I liked that letter, that personal touch, and it speaks to me, and I think of that person, those type of things. So don't negate that personalized card. So when you're getting organized in your business and stuff, going back to your planner, set time aside to write personal letters to maybe 5 to 10 of your people in your sphere of influence. And then simply this, we've talked about phone calls, we've talked about lettering and reaching out to them. How about meeting them face to face, like grabbing coffee or lunch sometime? Maybe making a routine that every single 12 months, you're going to cycle through your sphere of influence and meet with everybody on that list at least once a year in person, just to get to know them and talk to them about their lives and see what they've got going on, right? I mean, it's just a great way to catch up with people and be human with them, right? And build relationships with them and be there for them and know what their struggles are and what they're going through, right? So it's just a good thing to do. So, all right. There's number 3. Number 4 is this, and it again should not come as a surprise because we're in a relational serving type industry. But number 4 is this: get involved in your community. If you are a new agent, I'm telling you right now, this is the best thing that you can do because it's going to get you right in front of people. And what it's going to also do is show your community that you're willing to serve them before you even ask for business. You're giving back to your community that you're going to be selling for. And by getting involved in your community, you're going to meet new people. You're going to show them that you're the expert in the local market. I mean, join local organizations, volunteer, all those type of things are going to keep you in front of people while also giving back. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So here are some simple ideas for you to kind of get involved in your community. Maybe pick 1 or 2 of these to do every year and then kind of build upon this as you go throughout your career. But keep this in mind. I think I got 4 or 5 of these. One is simply volunteering. One way for real estate agents to get involved with their community is to absolutely just volunteer. There are tons of organizations that always need volunteers. There's soup kitchens, homeless shelters, after-school programs. I mean, there's tons of them that you can get involved with and just serve those communities. I will say this, there's a racing director, because we coach cross country, and there's a racing director that always says, be nice to the volunteers because it's a dying breed. And he's right. Every time he says that, because it's hard to find volunteers. It's really, really hard to find people that will give of their time freely, expect nothing in return, and be present and be available to an organization that just typically does not have a lot of money to support the workload that they have. But being that person, being that active agent in that community to go and volunteer, the byproduct of that is going to get you in front of more people. But you're actually doing something that gives back. Okay? Another way that you can get involved in your community is by donating. You know, it's just a simple way of being able to give back. There are different organizations for this as well. Going back, food banks, animal shelters, clothing drives. It's just a simple way to kind of give back to those that are in need, right? Just get involved, meet people. If you're a new agent especially, it's all about meeting people. Meet as many as you possibly can. All right. The other one is this, and this is kind of interesting I would even include this, but I was kind of thinking through this, and I decided, yes, I think this is a good one. It's mentoring. Okay. So we typically think of a mentor in real estate as I'm a new agent, I'm going to get a mentor. But there are a lot of organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, or the junior, I think it's Junior Achievement, or whatever those things are. There's a lot of things where you get to be the mentor to somebody else that maybe would not have an opportunity otherwise. So I think that would be a really cool way to kind of get involved in your community, is helping somebody else, like a young kid that maybe is going through something really difficult and just needs somebody to come alongside them and give them some direction. How cool would it be if you as a real estate agent was that person? All right, the other one is fundraise for organizations. It's just a great way for you to get involved in your community as well. There are many different organizations that do this, such as, schools and charities and all the nonprofits. And it's just a great way to raise money for a good cause, right? And it does. The donation, the fundraising, and that kind of stuff does make a difference in the community. You're providing those resources back to your community. So the other one is sponsor a local event. Okay, maybe there's something going on in your local area. This could be anything from a little league team to a charity 5K. I mean, whatever the case may be, maybe there's a way for you to kind of get involved and sponsor that event. Maybe there's something trying to get off the ground that just needs someone to come alongside them, and you can be the main sponsor for that, right? These are marketing things that also cost money, but also have the dividend of you getting to be involved, right? It's not just throwing a billboard up and saying, here I am. It's getting involved. It's getting involved. And the other one is this: join a local organization. I mean, we're talking about like Chamber of Commerce, Rotary clubs, those type of things, right? Volunteer your time to serve on boards and try to make things happen on those boards and see where it goes from there, because you're going to make a whole lot of connections with some really good people. I did this a lot. When I was actively selling real estate, I volunteered on as many organizations when I first got started as I possibly could. I even did it for my local association of Realtors. I mean, just get involved and kind of learn everything you can about the community and the job and the industry, serving some boards and some committees, and give it your time that way, because you're going to get really connected with some really strong people. All right, number five tip I would say that new agents need to do is keep learning. The real estate industry is always changing. There's new laws enacted. There's new technology is developed. It's important. It is so important for you to develop the mindset of a lifelong learner. I cannot stress this enough. I just can't. It's an industry that is changing all the time. We're going into a shift right now, and there's all kinds of new things that we've got to start thinking about and start doing, right? So attend conferences and seminars, read books and articles, and listen to podcasts. Whatever you can do to equip yourself with the knowledge that you need to answer the question that the consumers have. They have a lot of questions. We need to be the professionals that have the answers, but we also need to be the professionals that know where to send them to get the answers, right? So the more knowledge you have, and the more you have about the industry, the better able you are to serve your clients, period, right? So be a lifelong learner, okay? So here's some tips on how you can stay current in real estate and certain things to kind of focus in on to kind of keep you equipped for being a real estate agent. So this is what I would say I would try to hone in on it at the very beginning. Attend conferences and events. These events provide you with all kinds of opportunity to do many different things, like network with other professionals, learn about new technologies, products, and to be honest, they bring in great teachers and education moments where you can learn what you need to learn about the real estate industry. Things that are changing. They have people that are talking from experience. So get involved in these conferences and events. Most states have their own association of state licensing, their own association of realtors for the state and local. They offer conventions and events that you can participate in and learn from. So get involved in those things. And then if you're with a franchise, they typically will have a franchise convention as well that you can go to. I highly encourage you to participate in these things. They are worth every penny that you spend there. Trust me, you will connect with people and learn a whole lot. The other thing is reading industry publications. Okay, reading these publications is just a great way to stay informed about the latest news and trends in this industry. Again, going back, things are changing, right? So there are many publications that are specifically geared toward real estate professionals, such as Realtor magazine that you're going to get if you're a member of the National Association of Realtors. You're going to get that magazine. Risk Media makes a magazine. They all have websites that are that you can go on there and read blogs and posts and training, all free. I mean, you can get on there and look at these things all you want. Risk Media might have a feed to certain blog content. Inman News is a large organization that has all kinds of relevant information about what's going on in the industry, from how to grow a business in real estate to outside economic pressures, all those type of things. That's Inman News. That's a good one to kind of get involved with. But read some of these publications and stay informed, right? All right, we mentioned this before. I kind of went over this a little bit, but utilizing online resources. There's a number of these resources that you guys can use to keep learning about your career. Websites such as the National Association of Realtors, they have a main website with all kinds of reports for economics and training and equipping. I mean, there's just tons and tons of articles out there. Get in there and save these and bookmark these sites and time block some time once a week to get in there and spend 10 to 15 minutes. You don't have to, I'm not talking about hours upon hours of learning these things, but take some time every single week to kind of do the things that we're talking about here, because it's going to equip you guys. It's going to keep you equipped and knowledgeable in the industry that is constantly changing. All right. The one that I think is kind of overlooked is this: staying connected with other agents. Staying connected with other agents it absolutely is a great way to learn about the industry. We are all coming with our own experiences and our own thoughts and opinions about what the way we operate. So connecting with agents that have a different perspective can be a very good thing. Connect with the agents in your office, get to know them, maybe take them out to lunch sometimes and say, hey, I want to treat you to lunch. I just want to pick your brain. I want to talk to you about what you've done. I want to get to know you more, right? Like, get to know them, stay connected with your fellow agents. All right. And then if you're a new agent, this is crucial. Shadow an experienced agent. Shadow them. You know, find an agent that is doing things that you want to do. Maybe they're already kind of doing your niche and they're okay. They don't see you as a threat. But you know, and they're willing for you to kind of come alongside them and they'll show you the ropes. I mean, who knows? Maybe you guys can partner up on some deals and you guys can grow together and help each other out. That would be great. But try to find an experienced agent that you can shadow and follow along with and learn from. I know there's a lot of agents in our brokerage that would absolutely do that. And because a lot of our top selling agents especially need help. They have so much business that they need help. So sometimes a new agent coming along and saying, look, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to learn and I'll help you where I can. Be willing to help and connect with them. I think that'd be a good offer. Okay, number 6 is this. This is the final tip that I'm going to give you guys in regards to building a foundation for you as a new agent. So number 6 is this, and it is absolutely very, very important. It's that right there. Focus on customer service. Above all else, everything else we've talked about, this should be your number one priority, is providing that outstanding customer service. Your clients are entrusting you with one of their most valuable assets, their home. So to you, it's so important that you feel confident in your abilities every step of the way. Be responsive to their questions and concerns. Keep them updated on the progress being made, and always go above and beyond their expectations. They expect this to happen, give them more, right? It has to. We are a customer service industry. We are offering a service, and it is a highly stressful situation for almost everybody involved. We have to be the level-headed ones. We have to be the professional that is helping them and guiding them and just making them feel safe and giving them the correct advice and giving them the service that they are expecting, but then a little bit more, right? We have a saying here at Century 21, it's giving them 121%, right? Everybody else can do the 100%. We're going to give them 121%, right? We're going to go above and beyond what they expect. But I cannot overemphasize this point right here, because everything else that we have talked about will rise and fall on this. You could do everything else we just talked about. You can do everything else that I've talked about on this channel for the past couple years. You can talk about all these type of things. But if you miss this, then all you're doing is just working yourself right out of the industry. You're working yourself right out of the industry. Emily agrees. Amen. That's good. Yes, you're right. Under promise and over deliver. Yes, every single time. But this comes back to systems and processes, a consistent service over time, right? It's no different than if you go to a franchise like a Chick-fil-A, and I talk about this all the time, and you guys have probably heard this many times, but it doesn't matter, because it needs to be repeated as often as possible. When you go to Chick-fil-A, you know the service you're going to get. You know they're going to get your order right, and if they don't, they'll make it right, and they'll be very polite about it. You could be having a horrible day, but I guarantee when you go into a Chick-fil-A, you're going to meet somebody that's very happy to serve you, right? Your frustration and what you're going through is not going to be projected onto them. It's not going to change the way that they deliver the service to you. There's a lot to be learned. I've got a whole thing about Chick-fil-A that I talk to our agents about. And it's so crucial, guys. It's so crucial. All right, so here's some tips for you guys on how real estate agents can develop a customer-focused business, okay? Get this right, guys. Get this right. Keep your promises. A customer-centered business is built on the number one thing you can never lose, and that is trust. You cannot lose trust. As a real estate agent, you need to do everything you can to build trust with your clients. Everything. This means keeping your promises and delivering on your commitments. If you say you're going to call a client back within 24 hours, make sure you do it. If you commit to getting a client the best possible price for their home and you do everything you say, this is my marketing plan, this is what I promise I'm going to do for you. If you list with me, follow through. Follow through with all of it, because by making that statement, you've made them a promise. All right, the other one is be responsive. Be responsive. We live in a very fast-paced world. Very, very, very fast-paced world. Customers expect businesses to be responsive to their needs. It doesn't mean we're to be, steamrolled over, but we are required to be responsive. This means that you are available when they need you and being able to answer their questions quickly and thoroughly. Okay? And as a real estate agent, you need to be available when your clients need you. You do. Whether that means answering their calls, responding to emails, all those type of texts, whatever it may be. Now, I'm not saying you give away 24/7 time. I'm not saying that. But if at the very beginning, you make a promise, you say, look, this is the way I operate. I don't take calls between 9 and 9 or whatever it may be, then they will respect that. They will see that and they will understand that. So when you maybe don't respond back to them immediately, they understand the pretense of what you set up at the very beginning. But then they know what to expect. They know the very next day at 9 o'clock, you're probably going to be calling them back, right? That's building that trust. So be responsive. Be transparent. Be transparent. Customers also expect businesses to be transparent. They really do. All businesses need to be transparent. Don't try to hide anything from your clients. If they ask you a question, give them a straight answer. And being transparent will build trust and keep your clients coming back. We do not expect you guys to have every single question we don't expect you guys to be able to answer every single question you are asked, but we do expect you to be able to answer that through going towards another professional and getting the advice from them and bringing it back to them. Okay. So the other one is this: offer value. Offer something of value. Make sure that what you are delivering and what you're giving them is of value to them. Customers are always looking for value. They want to know that they're getting something of worth in exchange for their money, right? That's the whole point of this. Right? As a real estate agent, you need to offer value to your clients by providing them with expert advice, industry insight, top-notch service. If you can offer value to your clients, they'll be more likely to use your service again in the future and do what we really need them to do is refer more business to us. That's the way it builds. Okay, and finally, this last tip I'll give you on this is show appreciation. Man, we can lose this all the time. But finally, you do need to do this. Showing appreciation can go a long way in building customer loyalty and keeping your clients coming back. There are many ways to show appreciation, such as talking about what we talked about before, sending thank you notes, and simply saying just thank you. Whatever method you choose, make sure that your clients feel appreciated. Make sure they feel appreciated and valued. Please, please, please do these things, right? You will not regret it. So in conclusion, we do know building a successful real estate business, it does take time and effort. It does take time and effort, but it is well worth it. And I will assure you, by following these simple tips, by following these tips and staying focused on these and providing exceptional customer service, you will be well on your way to achieving your goals in your real estate business and growing a real estate business that is going to last for many, many years. But I want you to remember this. Intentional consistency over time gets results. All the things we're talking about is very intentional actions, and it's consistently that's something you do every single day throughout the week, and you just repeat this. And over that time, you're going to start seeing the results of this. Yeah, you're going to have to tweak it. You're going to have to get in there and kind of mess around. But if you follow that and you follow these things as your foundation, you're going to grow a really, really strong real estate business. Guys, it is truly my pleasure to come on this show and share anything I can about what I've learned in this industry to you guys and to have you guys participate in the show with me. It's a community. I don't expect myself to have all the answers, but what I am trying to do is research and understand what works for the real estate agent and bring that to you guys. I expect one thing in return, though. I have one simple ask, is if you are watching this and you got something of value, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I hope you have enjoyed this week's episode of the Real Estate Advantage live show and that you have found something of value. If you did, please leave us a comment and just say thanks. That'd be awesome. And remember, be fearless, keep pushing forward, and never stop being relentless in your pursuit of excellence. Take care.